All right, gentlemen, we've made way too many mistakes this week, okay? Football's a simple game, but you keep making these silly mistakes, we're not gonna win. So let's get out there and let's have a good practice, huh?
Set, hut, 60 yards. Set, hut. Ready, ready. 70, hut, hut. Let's go. 10, touch scared. Hut, go. Let's go now. Set up. Ready? Right. Hook. Set, ready. Set, go. Here we go. Set. 18 gator. Hut. Here we go. Ready, go.
All right, this one's for all the marbles. This is for gold.
All right, man, bring it in tight, bring it in tight. Let me tell you something. That was the best practice of the season. Not a single mental mistake. That's the type of practice championship teams have. Keep it up.
Ready, ready. Set, hut. On the ready. Ready. Come on, set and read. Ready, ready. Set. 60 Pittsburgh. Hut, go. Ready up. Set, hut. Down. Get the plan. Hut, hut. Here we go. Here we go. 60 outlaw. Hut, go. Ready. 15 Lonnie. 15 Lonnie. Set up. Ready. Hook. Set, hut, 30 base. Set, go. Ready, set. Hut. go. 70 Indy. We good. 32. Madden. Let's go now. 10, Tuscan. Set hot. Okay, ready. Ready. Okay, right. Ready, right. Set, ready. 10, Lobo. Here we go. Set. 91. Hey, go. Here we go. 18 Gator, 18 Gator. Set, cut. Come on, set and read. Hut, hut. Set. 6 to Pittsburgh. Hut, go. Down. Hit the flag. Set up. On the set. Hook. On the double. Say go. Ready. Hut. Here we go. Here we go. 60 outlaw. Ready, go. On the ball. On the ball. Ready. Right. We good. 132. Right.
Hey, man, that was great. I mean, you had a great day today. The game is really starting to slow down for you, isn't it? I can't wait to see what you're going to do on Sunday. Good job.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Chicago Bears. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football And on the call, as always, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thanks, Coach. A bit of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Chicago Bears. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
I love this quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger, throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And with this offense, what about DJ Fluker?
Came out of Alabama, could play tackle, could play guard. He's so big, Brandon, I think he plays both at the same time.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now it's Carson. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. A look at the starters now defensively for the Bears. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. And he'll get nothing out of that one. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
This is Cullen. It's a room to maneuver. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
They'll run with Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. Now from the 7, here's second and goal. Jackson to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, but now it's third and goal.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Ben Braunecker, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Seahawks offense now. Ready to come back onto the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long?
And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now 14-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown Bears. Allen Robinson. His 4th touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Finish the team. Mike 58, right there.
Yeah, let's get set lunch.
Now on second and 16. Wilson. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know some big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as the Bears push further out in front. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This one fielded at the 5. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield.
Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A.J. Green, his 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Bears defense gearing up as they take the field. And of these highlights that we show here, I think the big thing to put an asterisk next to, 3 fumbles.
Swarming, swooping, making it happen. knocking the ball free. So many teams work on it, but you don't see it work quite as well as we're seeing here in this game. And they mix in taking one out of the air a little bit too. This team is swarming like crazy and making big plays.
This one into the hands of Metcalf. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The throw here going to be complete to Gordon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
I'm going back to you.
Throwing is Wilson. He'll check that down to Carson. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
First down, Seahawks.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson. Now Carson fumbles the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From just shy of midfield, Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jair Alexander. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And now the throw hauled in by Green. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. 23 yards the pickup there. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Green brings it in. Touchdown, Chicago! A.J. Green with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The extra point up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. That'll pick up the 1st down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. On second down now, it's Carson. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. And the Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now,
and he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown Bears. Allen Robinson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Chris Carson trotting back out there. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go,
27-yard line.
Now Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 23 yards the pickup there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Able to get this to Gordon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. Wilson now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Short throw to Disley. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now it's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Throwing again here, Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action maybe.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Now, the scoreboard still does not look good, but at least they polished off that goose egg.
Yeah, they've been thoroughly outplayed in the first half. Finally, a little spark of life, but it's going to take a lot more to add to that flame for them to thoroughly get back into this one.
Myers connects on the PAT, and they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Jackson now, only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Now Montgomery running right. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. First down, a run with Cohen. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. On 2nd and 7, Jackson. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the...
And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown Bears. Allen Robinson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it off. Well, there was a little extra pressure with that one because it was 3rd down. He didn't care. He snagged it with one hand like it was routine.
The key is to make a play in a tough situation. Doesn't matter how, and in this case, one-handed gets it done. Terrific play for us to watch.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go. than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
It's caught. Block it. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now Wilson on first down. Short throw to Disley.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's third down. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. Again, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Myers' kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
On the draw, this is Cohen.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Draw play, Cohen. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. 27-14, the final tally. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Tennessee Titans. 21-3, the final score. And finally, a good one on Monday Night Football between the Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. They'll start the third quarter with a run by Cohen. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. Jackson now, 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, they go right back to Cohen. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy. And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place. Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And an alley to Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute with their...
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide that they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. To throw is RG3. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go band of brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Akram Wadley, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap. Up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Bears 63, Seahawks 17.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Let's phrase this delicately, okay? Might have had a better option instead of throwing the football in the double coverage.
He was blanketed. I was surprised that he went his direction.
Yeah, should have thought maybe about the check down. Take the completion, keep moving.
That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 30. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his out.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up a lot, and he's into the clear. The 30, the 20, and he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. In for the score as his guys continue to pour it on. We talk about it a lot. One of the dangers of the long field goal, you got to kind of hit it low and drive it. That makes it susceptible to a block here. Not only do they block it, they return it.
And how about how well they did on the return where they didn't create a penalty? Oftentimes in that type of a scrambling situation, someone will clip, someone will block below the waist, right? You name it. In this case, though, that didn't happen. They formed it up, and he took it all the way back for a touchdown.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time. And he loses the football a second time. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Wilson. And that is incomplete here.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
On 3rd down, Carson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This will be fielded at the 17. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
Cordell Patterson. Touchdown, Chicago. Such an impressive punt return, 83 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Short throw to Disley. A gain of 6 there on first.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Wilson. They'll lock him with a grab over the middle. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final. Play of the third quarter.
With the score, Bears 77, Seahawks 17.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
The Seahawks on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 14. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And it's a fumble. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now the throw on third down, knocked to and incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The catch is made by Riley Ridley. Touchdown, Chicago! Riley Ridley, his 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, He used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This
but she's singing too.
Oh, she's at
least on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. Breaks the tackle. Now an alley. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble to get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. To throw again on second down. Wilson, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. Now the ball comes loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head. Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve. To throw is Beathard. This is the tight end fan. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago. Back to throw Beathard. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing. And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance. And he did. Beathard now 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a first down. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference. And now where does the ball get placed? At the 1-yard line. 1-yard line. They gave up excellent real. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Urlacher. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Bears capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory. Formation, take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad and that's caught inside the 30. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Seahawks are able to get a score back.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Here's Beathard to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he's taken down inside the red zone, past the Seattle 15. A big play there on the catch and run. 67 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They run again with Wadley, and he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. This offense 2 for 2 converting on these thus far, so why not try again here on 4th down? They'll go for it. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know there are plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Always got some breathing room. 20, 10, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. The extra point now coming from And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Still going. And there he goes again. 30. Past the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So how about the game he's having? He had the punt return earlier for a touchdown. Now the kick return to balance things out.
And oftentimes, guys who are on punt return and kickoff return, many of them are the same guys. And they're devoted to a return guy who can break big plays. And when that happens and they know it's there, they're going to block that much harder and be that much more skillful, as well as utilizing his talents. And this is what you get. Punt return, kick return, a huge game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how
Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Beathard. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Check. Let him know.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Khalil Mack, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can.
It's caught inside the 25. A huge play there for Chicago. 44 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. That one looks like he'll throw here.
Brandon, all things considered.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it on the other side, is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners
Yeah.
who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches.
Yeah. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Chicago, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to